triathlon, decathlon, pentathlon, CrossFit, all multi-sport elements and disciplines that have been brought together to create a sport. But now, hybrid fitness racing, the sport of fitness racing, Hyrox, DEKA, Athex Games, Battle Bunker, and many, many more are now with us in this world and new sports that we can take part in, known as hybrid fitness. This is the era of fitness. It is here, and the excitement for it is absolutely massive. Hello and welcome to On The Rox Podcast with me, Coach Marshy. So, welcome to the intro episode of our new show. This is the place where we're going to discuss everything you need to know hybrid fitness racing. So, let's just dive straight in. What is hybrid fitness racing? So, if you think about hybrid, so a mixed character composed of different components or elements, a thing, something, a living being made of combining two different elements, or bred as a hybrid from different species or varieties. If you take that and then take it into fitness, we've then got hybrid fitness or hybrid fitness defined. So many definitions of this out there. You know, Dr. Google, as we love, you can find many, many different things, but we're going to use one from Gymshark. We're not sponsored by Gymshark or anything like that. We're just going to use their definition here. So hybrid fitness definition. The aim of hybrid training is to improve both strength and endurance simultaneously. Now, this excites me as a coach. I absolutely love this. What a way to train. Cardio resistance cardio. Whatever it is, it's a great way to train. And the results of this are absolutely massive. I've found doing sort of functional fitness for a long time now within my career. So there are massive benefits to that hybrid way of training, if you want to put it that way. So you think about overall health and the benefits it will have on that. You're working your cardiovascular system, you're working in a functional plane of motion, lots of improved health benefits there. Body composition, that's going to change massively. We're going to reduce that risk of injury because we're generally functionally stronger when we train hybrid. And there's that greater kind of physically preparedness, if you want to call it that, for functionality, daily movements, however you want to put it. You are more ready to meet those things in your daily life because of this style of training. Absolutely. Push, pull, carry, all these things, moving an object from one place to the other, you know, holding your own body weight, things like that. They are massive for preparing you physically for what's to come in your daily life. And then the big one, it's really time efficient as well. You can have a hell of a session just by doing your hybrid training. It can be absolutely awesome. And there are massive kind of benefits around time and busy lifestyles and, you know, running around for the kids and running around your full-time job that you do too many hours for, whatever it is. There's so much good use of time when it comes to hybrid. So what I thought I'd do is we'd go through those a little bit in more depth on this intro episode, and then also tell you a little bit about the why we're here, what we're here to achieve with On The Rox, and the important message that I think we should get out there in this hybrid fitness racing world. So let's start with Hyrox. So 8 stations, all having a 1K run, which precedes that station that you get to. Those stations, they are a mix of, you know, push, pull, carry stuff, farmer's carry, body weight exercises seen within the burpee board jumps, the walking lunge while moving a weight throughout the course. You know, 8 stations with 1K run preceding those 8 stations makes it very, very sort of hybrid, because you've got your endurance, and it's all endurance, and then you've got your strength and your power that you need throughout that as well. So a little bit more about Hyrox, and what we know so far is we know that in the 2022-2023 season, there were like 90,000 athletes worldwide. Now, that had grown from about 650 when they started in 2017. Bearing in mind the pandemic would have been in there, that's a huge growth rate. And particularly where I'm based here in the UK, of those 90,000 in the 2022-2023 season, we're talking about 30,000 of those people being from the UK and taking part in the UK. That is a massive figure. And within that, within the next season, the 23-24 season, a growth where you're seeing 12,000 athletes at one event, along with that massive growth as well. I mean, what a growth curve. I mean, that is just massive. And this is a lot of people ranging in terms of abilities from right down at beginner level all the way up to real long-term, long experienced athletes that have been involved in other sports. And it's just an amazing growth worldwide. And particularly the UK itself has taken it by storm. Hyrox also run a massive affiliate program in the UK as well, which has seen it be well over 200 gyms very quickly. And that continues to grow in the UK and worldwide as well. So Hyrox, in my opinion, is probably going to be here to stay. And I really hope it is, because the experience of it and everything, which we'll talk about in a minute, is frightening in a good way. It's absolutely awesome. So Hyrox, then we've got DEKA. There's a massive mistake, in my opinion, that's made with DEKA. People are like, oh, it's like Hyrox. A bit like when people say, oh, yeah, Hyrox is like CrossFit. Anyone who knows the truth, Hyrox is nothing like CrossFit, and DEKA is nothing like Hyrox. They are all events and sports that will coexist, in my opinion, and can coexist and can have real hybrid athletes that go across the disciplines. Now, we could talk elite level, which hopefully we will do in the future episodes as well. But what I want to get across here is that DEKA is not Hyrox. So DEKA is 10 stations. And the way it works with DEKA is they very much have this process of earn your mark. And they measure that sort of through 3 different disciplines within the DEKA sport. So the first thing that should be said about DEKA is the 10 stations remain exactly the same across all 3 of their event types, creating the trifecta. Now, DEKA by Spartan, they very much have a trifecta kind of way of thinking around the obstacle racing and things that they've done for the last decade or so, couple of decades. And that is this trifecta. And they've created that. They've created that in DEKA as well. And, you know, Yancey and the guys over at DEKA are awesome as well, you know, in terms of the passion for it and how it works. And they do that through 3 major disciplines. So they've got DEKA Strong, DEKA Mile, and DEKA Fit. So DEKA Strong is the 10 stations, and you just complete those 10 stations that don't change, very much like Hyrox. It's the same race every time. So you can, both in Hyrox and DEKA, create a time that you can then go back and compete with yourself. Now, that is cool, because in the running world, half marathons, we all love to do that. So this is really cool. And DEKA have got 3 disciplines, and within Strong, you do the 10 stations 4 times, and that's it. You go from station 1 to 10 as quick as you can within the rules, and you earn your DEKA Strong mark. That means you can then come back and redo that and see if you've improved and the training program that you've done. They've then got DEKA Mile, which is the same 10 stations, but this time before each station, you're going to do a 160-meter run, followed by the station at the same reps, weight, etc., as the DEKA Strong, creating the DEKA Mile. And again, you get your DEKA Mile mark. Then they've got their kind of more arena-based event, which is DEKA Fit, which upon recording in the UK right now, we do not have that event. I do predict, hopefully, that it will come, but we'll talk about it in a minute. But DEKA Fit is a 500 meters, so half a K run, followed by the stations. So stations 1 to 10 with a 500 meter run before it. Now I can see the comparisons between Hyrox and DEKA, and I get that with the DEKA Fit, but DEKA is a very different sport in terms of your heart rate zones that you're in, how you execute it. And actually, DEKA and Hyrox very much belong together. DEKA Fit, 500 meters, and then you do it. And again, your DEKA Fit will always remain the same. So you complete on the DEKA Mile, for example, a 1 mile route. That's why it's called the DEKA Mile, because you do 160 meters times 10 is 1.6K. So that's your mile, which is great. The DEKA Fit, you do your 500 meters 10 times, that's your 5K. So for me, it makes a lot of logic, and it's absolutely awesome as far as I'm concerned. It's a great sport, just like Hyrox. That is great as well. And they are not in competition, in my opinion, whatsoever. In fact, I think they really assist each other, and those two companies in particular, if they work together and these two sports can work together, we are going to see an awesome process for me over the next decade or so of these two sports being perhaps at the top of the pyramid. I get that, and that they might sort of, be the higher level ones because they've got the backing and they've worked, but somebody's worked hard for that, and I really think that's something that should be sort of commended and credit where it's due. And hybrid fitness racing with Hyrox and DEKA now are going to be massive. So DEKA themselves, they also run a gym affiliate program. What should be said about the gym affiliate program is they empower the gym affiliate to do the strong and the mile at their gym, and they can be achieved within the gym. Part of the criteria is that you create an area that is big enough, and you have to have a minimum area so that you can complete the strong. And therefore, if you're lucky enough to have running space as well, in terms of, a car park, or, as they say in America, the parking lot, if you've got that area or you've got somewhere that's safe to run, then you can do the mile quite effectively as well. And the idea is that you create that hybrid fitness atmosphere, like we see at Hyrox in the UK, but on a smaller level within your gym. And I know there's lots of UK affiliates that are already doing that as well. So that's the advantage. And then the DEKA Fit is more of that kind of showpiece event, the big event, which are happening mainly in America as we record the intro episode. But we are starting to see those pop up now in other countries as well. Spain have been doing it as well. So hopefully not too far for the UK. So DEKA, just like Hyrox, got many affiliates. They're on 302 worldwide now. There's 12 in the UK as of February 2024. I'm recording this. And something that's really interesting is that DEKA events within gyms, so actually the strong and the mile, have now created 1,300 plus revenue generating events for their affiliates since they launched that program to help them build their businesses, and most importantly, get that opportunity for their people to earn their mark. And it's a great opportunity for businesses and for gyms to get in there and give themselves a chance to have this product and service that's recognized, regulated by rules, and run this repeatable, something that can be done over and over again to test your fitness and earn your mark within your gym. So between Hyrox and DEKA, what a scenario that we've got. And there is just this idea that if we can keep these sports growing, in my opinion, I think this can be amazing for changing people's lives and affecting people's lives. And both Hyrox and DEKA are really strong on that. I think they're really forward in saying that this is for everyone. Everyone can have a go, find the standards, learn the standards, train for it, and give it a go. It's not out of reach for anyone. And, there are certainly some videos out there on YouTube that have documented that, in particular for Hyrox, in regards to, various athletes, people doing it that, say this is for everyone, and it is for everyone. It's not all about the elite in either of those two sports, which is awesome. And then in the UK, there are just so many other sort of little brands out there and some emerging big brands here in the UK as well. The Affex Games and the Turf Games, they're both now what you would say arena-sized events within the UK. And they are selling out. They are making inroads, and people are loving this in the UK. They're absolutely buzzing about it. They're buzzing about Hyrox. They're buzzing about the Apex Games and the Turf Games. And I think we need the DEKA Fit as well, because they'll be buzzing about that if we get it in an arena. I think that will be massive. And the UK have just changed it, and I love it. And I love how that has happened in our world of fitness. So definitely an exciting time to be in the sport. And with that in mind, you might be asking, like, why are you doing this? Who is this for? What is this podcast about? Well, the idea is that we will get the guests on as well. So the guests will be on talking to me, learning from those. And, I am your host. And why am I doing the podcast? You might ask, what is the point? Who's it even for? You could be asking those questions as you listen in. Now, for me, it's about everyone. This is a platform where we can come and learn, and we can hear those stories like from out there that everyone's got involved, and their stories about Hyrox, their stories about DEKA, Apex Games, Battle Bunker in the US, whatever it is, we can get these stories and we can share them, and that amazing enjoyment and love of the hybrid fitness racing space and the world that we're now in with this. And why not share it? Why not get it out there and learn a bit about it? So for me, I like to participate in these, and I also like to hear those inspirational stories, because there is a lesson, there is inspiration, and there is just good entertainment stories out there within this space already. I know of loads out here within my community, but also I know of loads out there. So my background, why am I doing this? What even allows me to do this? Well, firstly, I want to do it, and I want to hear those stories, and I want to hear those inspiring people that perhaps don't get heard on mainstream media about these amazing stories that are out there. My background, so I've completed an Ironman in 2015. So I'm an Ironman. I've done multiple marathons, well over double figures now, standalone. I've also done some ultra marathons, with 70 miles being my maximum distance as of this recording. And then I own my own functional fitness facility, and for years we have been giving functional fitness and helping people to feel better, look better, move better, have more confidence. That's been our aim for the last decade, since I decided to go into my own fitness facility. But though that fitness facility now, NMHF, Purple Team, as you may have seen us at some of these events, we are now a Hyrox and DEKA affiliate, and it is given so much more to my facility, on top of already something that was about inspiring people and helping people not be where I was once upon a time, stuck in a rut, overweight, mental health. All of those things were a massive factor for me, and that's another story for another day. But it's given that opportunity to pay it forward, and now Hyrox and DEKA being an affiliate to those programs, those affiliate programs, and being involved in this sport is absolutely awesome. And why am I here? I want people to understand that these sports can help people in so many more ways than just giving you a weekend out and having a race. There's so much more to it than that. And there's already emerging stories from all the hybrid sort of games and events that I've looked at, been to in person. And I've got to say, it's an amazing sport. So I want to pay that forward. I want to pay that forward to as many people as I can, to make sure that people are aware that there is an opportunity out there. If you're looking for something that you can get involved in, be part of a community, even at a supporting level, you can be involved in this amazing sport. It's great fun, and I can vouch for that now. I've hosted 3 DEKA events, or 2 DEKA weekends, and a solo DEKA Strong. So one day DEKA Strong, and then a weekend where we did DEKA Strong and DEKA Mile. So that's been hosted now here at my gym, and doing that event, those events here at the gym, have opened my eyes even more to what a great community we have around us of hybrid athletes in this country, to the point where we're geographically in Cambridge, sort of down the south in the east of England, and we had someone travel all the way from up in Scotland just to take part in our event. And that's just one example. There are many examples in the 3 main sort of weekends that we've done here with DEKAs so far. There's been some outstanding sort of stories come from that. And why not? Let's pay it forward. So why did we even get into it? Well, back in 2022, a member came to me, Sharon. She came and she said, oh, look, there's this competition. Should we do it? Let's get Sue involved, and then all will be dealt with. And that is true. And we decided to get involved in this competition called Outtrain. And Outtrain was a local event, and is a local event that is hosted by some local fitness professionals and entrepreneurs. And they created this event called Outtrain, which is now all over the country. And Outtrain were doing a underground or go underground, and we took part, and we decided to turn up, and we had, you know, sort of a good demographic of our gym. I think I was the youngest at 35 at the time, and you know, our oldest member there that day was 67, and we literally turned up, and there was a slight intimidation factor for us because everyone was so young. And, you know, all look the part, like athletes. They all look like they've been doing it a long time and years. And the truth was, even though some of that was true, the event itself, the race directors, the owners, the volunteers, and most importantly, the athletes, or the majority of the athletes, were very welcoming to the idea that we had turned up. And we were clearly, you know, as minimum a decade or 2 older than them as a team of 6. And we turned up and we gave it a go. And we loved it. And the reaction we got from the group there, and the race directors and the other athletes, was amazing. And we were really thankful for that day. And it led to us looking at it and thinking, okay, there's improvements that we need to make from an athletic point of view if we want to compete in things like this. However, it didn't put us off, and we didn't let it put us off. And then Sharon and Sue, as a result of that, come to me and they talk about Hyrox, this new thing called Hyrox. Should we do it? Well, they were famous last words, because Hyrox has positively come into our lives and changed our lives. And inevitably, the Hyrox story has led to the DEKA story, and it's all rolled into one. And I hope that, you know, if this goes out and is heard by the people at the top at Hyrox and at DEKA, we say thank you. We don't see you as competitors. We see this as a real positive change for the fitness industry and for fitness racing. And thank you, because what you've created is awesome and we love it. And I think it's a real positive for us. So off we go. We decide to then enter in the 2022-23 season into Hyrox Olympia. At this stage, we've got no idea. The gym affiliated in January 2023. So we had no idea what we were doing. As a coach, and having believed in cardio resistance for a long time now, I had some principles of training that I thought would be appropriate for Hyrox. And as it went and as it goes, they are very relevant. Things that I picked up sort of a decade ago during my degree in sport and exercise science and prescription for health. So those things were very relevant, and they remain relevant today, which is great. But really, we didn't have much idea. So, you know, Carol, one of my coaches, we booked onto the academy, the Hyrox Academy, and went and got qualified in that. And we had entered before we knew what we were doing at the Hyrox Olympia. We did manage to go and do our training well before that, and we got about 6 weeks of training in after that was specifically based on what we learned at the academy, which was a really good day. Really enjoyed it, really enjoyed the knowledge that we gained. And then from there, we took a team and we had mixed doubles and solo females. So we had 3 mixed doubles teams, I think it was, and then 5 or 6 solo women. And the truth is, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what we were doing. And the story from out there for us that day was magical. We went into the race. Anyone who's done a Hyrox might have felt like this before they went as well. It'd be interesting to know in the comments section on whatever platform you're listening or watching, if you could share like a brief sort of overview of that, and maybe you could come on the show, because it's definitely something that you do feel. We didn't really know what we were doing. We had limited knowledge. We'd watched every video we could find on YouTube at the time, which at that point, trust me, was not as many as you would see now. And we took what we could get and we ran with it, literally ran with it on the first K. Forgot to count laps and all sorts, but we didn't miss any, me and my partner, which was lucky. In fact, I don't think we had any mishaps at all in terms of counting laps. So we went down to Olympia. We did it. We enjoyed it. We had a great day out for the gym. We had members who didn't race and haven't joined our hybrid level of membership who came along and got involved, and it was great fun for everyone. It was fantastic. Little did we know we were rubbing shoulders with the elite at the time as well. But nice to know that those relationships are developing still within the sport, not just the elite, but also all the people that we were sort of getting to know on the day out that we were there. So what we also got is we ended up getting a champ as well. So we got a champ, first race, Carol, in she goes, long history, one of our coaches, long history of activity. And basically she won the event in a fairly competitive field in her age category as well. I would say for that age category, there were people present and there were people that were racing at a decent speed as well. So she won the event. We've never been all about winning. And like I've said so far in this episode, it's not about that, but we ended up with a champ, which must be celebrated as well. So Carol entered Hyrox, didn't really know what she was doing like the rest of us, won the event, and then the next day he gets an invitation to go to the World Championships, which happened to be 3 weeks later and in Manchester, which as a Brit and living here down in Cambridgeshire, we thought, yeah, all right, Carol went. So we went, me and Carol went, and a couple of other supporters, we went up and she did the World Champs. And inevitably that's led to then the DEKA interest, following DEKA, looking into DEKA, becoming a UK DEKA affiliate. So 12 DEKA affiliates in the UK, we were number 8 for that. And like I said, already hosted lots of events, and that's been absolutely great. And, you know, DEKA as well, like I said, if you can come to the UK for DEKA Fit, myself, all of the Hyrox athletes, I reckon will be there. And I reckon Hyrox, you don't need to worry about that at all, because I think we'll still sell out your events as well. And this is just going to go, in my opinion, this is going to go and go and go because it's great fun. It's passion, you know, and I love it. And just recently we've had the Athex Games again. We've had the Turf Games in the UK. And what I'm seeing about those events is just fun and fitness, just like DEKA, just like Hyrox. And I'm looking forward to talking to these people and learning more about these sports and what we're there for. And, you know, it's not just about winning, it's about community and supporting everyone and allowing everyone to give it a go. And, you know, I can't wait to speak to these big companies, the little companies. You know, this hybrid fitness world is exciting and I am very excited about it. And hopefully you guys share that passion with me too. So that's kind of where we're at. That's the intro episode. It is exciting times to be in the fitness world, in my opinion, anyway. But, you know, all these amazing opportunities we now have, you know, let's take advantage of them. So I do just want to say thanks very much for listening and making it this far into the intro episode. I really appreciate you coming on and listening. You know, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to follow on social media, to leave a comment, like the videos, like the posts. All of these things help. And this is about people, and this is about relationships and about what we can do to inspire more to move. So don't forget to do that, because it does make a real difference. And anyone who you think might enjoy the episode as well, or if you've enjoyed it and you think someone should hear it, absolutely share it, because that would be much appreciated as well. And it could inspire someone, I guess, as well. And that's important. If, you know, if this can inspire one person, then, you know, that isn't the sole aim. But if it does, then we've done our job, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm proud of you as the community that we're going to do that as well. So, but for me, there is a really important factor as well. And the most important factor for me is don't forget to share the love of hybrid fitness racing and pay forward our experiences and fun. That's really important to me, and hopefully it can be really important to you. So, like I said, I just want to say thanks one more time, and that we will see you next time on The Rox for more on the world of hybrid fitness racing.